Hello, good morning, and welcome to our sketch practice today. Hello, Kitty, nice to see you here. We're going to be sketching Ken Robinson, who I think I just read the term was an educationalist, who I first learned about from my wife Kira, who studied education and how to teach, and she was really amazed by what he shared. And there's a really cool presentation which you can find of a talk of his, which has like graphic recording as part of the talk, and it's a lot about creativity. And there are a couple quotes just before we get into this. Hello, Anne-Marie. And one which I thought was beautiful, that the gardener does not make a plant grow. The job of a gardener is to create optimal conditions for growth. And another really cool one here was the role of a creative leader is not to have all the ideas, is to create a culture where everyone can have ideas and feel that they are valued. And yeah, he shared a lot of really great stuff about how we are born creative and have it educated out of us. So some pretty critical, revolutionary, and empowering ideas about how to go about fostering creativity and how important it is. So that's who we're drawing today. Let's get to it. This is still really laggy, it seems. Let me know how it is. I changed the resolution hoping it was gonna make things a bit smoother, but for some reason this is not what I want to be happening. This has happened a few times where it's like a stream for a while and everything's good and smooth, and then at some point it's like, why is it all laggy? But alright, we'll draw. You draw along. It's great to have you here. Hi Steve, Eddie and Lewis. Anne-Marie, Kitty, let's draw together. All right. I will look into that. But yeah, are people here familiar with Ken Robinson? This talk with the graphic recording, like the illustrated. I remember, it was the first time I ever saw something like graphic recording, and I didn't realize it was a thing until later. And I've since met wonderful graphic recorders, which is the art of taking something from a talk or a presentation, and very laggy. Oh, it's so laggy. Why? So confusing. What's going on? Strange. Like nothing's really changed in my setup, but for some reason it's just gone way worse and super laggy. I don't know why. I'll just draw and encourage you all to draw along and chat in the chat. So it was really... Kira did her master's on movement in the English classroom, and did a yoga teacher training around the time we met, and actually incorporated that into her her master's work, which was about yoga in the English class at school, which was really cool. And this idea of she was really into lots of ways to encourage learning, and Ken Robinson's teaching and sharing was played a really big role in that, kind of looking at the perspective of the incredible potential that that everyone is born with, and unfortunately sometimes in the education system that is not seen and honored, that the ways of assessment and whatever the different limitations are within the system, whether it's sometimes resources or just having to streamline the whole process, that ideally there's space for everyone's individual way of learning and expressing things. And yeah, I guess it's an interesting challenge to try and balance when you've got a room full of people all wanting to, do different things. I have huge respect for anyone up in front trying to transmit learning to young people and to keep that spark of curiosity and creativity alive and vibrant, and to tend to that kind of innate creativity and desire to learn that we have. Eddie's having problems with YouTube as well. It would be good if it's not on my side. Good morning, Linda. But it is telling me that YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. And it's done this before. And last year I got a new computer thinking now it'll be better. That I thought it was perhaps my computer that wasn't keeping up. And so it's strange to me that this week, having changed nothing in the settings, that now it's suddenly gotten really laggy. Linda, there's a Let's Face It live this weekend with me. So anyone who is participating in Let's Face It, this year-long art class, is invited to join. Hi Cindy, good morning. That was the first 5 minutes. Let's continue. I think once the drawing is being done, I guess and hope that the lagginess is not such a big issue. But just takes a bit. I'm going to start on my next Patreon tutorial today, which is going to be about hair. And I was thinking, it's taken me, last year I had these monthly themes, and I've actually planned out the months, but it's been not as clear and to me about the sequence of the different topics. But I will be sharing that on my Patreon, the order throughout the year. And I also incorporated it into the daily streams, whereas so far this year I've been focused on people who've the second 5-minute timer is now going. So far I've been just focused on people who've been doing empowering, important things. And a lot of these people recently, I feel like they've been, I think that there's something like even small things, like in a community, in a neighborhood level, like there's a lot of great people that have a large scale influence and have, which is great because they've been able to contribute to the development and understanding of a lot of people, like our subject today, Ken Robinson. But it's also people who are like doing things on a neighborhood level that I think about, which we haven't done so many sketches of yet. But I like everyone. There are so many people that we could draw. So many people doing inspiring, great, important, great and small, sometimes at the same time, or seemingly like, just the things that we can do within our own neighborhoods and lives and living space that can also be important. So focusing on those people, I haven't so much had the themes in clear in mind, like hair, for example, and just having a look at his hair. Last month I would have been focusing all month on looking at hair throughout the streams, and so far I haven't really. It's taken me a while to figure out the order of the months and the way I would like to be teaching and going through the different themes. And in the streams thus far, I haven't really had that strong focus, but maybe it's about time for that to happen, because I felt it was super beneficial last year to the way I was practicing and learning and teaching. So there's some Patreon focus coming up this week. So thank you to all of you who are learning with me over there and supporting me and my work. Linda will be there. Excellent. So good. It's always great having you there on the Let's Face It live sessions, Linda. So Ken Robinson's talking about creativity. It's like there's creativity in all things, and there's a curious, resourceful, active way at looking at things, and sometimes it's to do with how we find solutions to things, being creative, or the very literal thing of how we create and make something. Like I feel like portraiture, drawing, finding ways to represent what we see with our two-dimensional mark making is definitely a wonderful way to practice creativity. But how that creativity is then goes out into all aspects of life, and whatever it is we have to deal with in any situation, and that there are so many things which it ties in directly to, just having that being able to foster a creative approach to seeing and thinking and figuring things out. And that reminded me of Rick Rubin's book, which is also about creativity. What's it called? I was just talking about it with someone a couple of weeks ago. The Creative Act, I think. All right, that's our 10 minutes for today. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Let's see if I can figure out this laggy issue. And hopefully next time when we come and join together, it'll be a bit smoother. But that still worked out okay. The drawing's okay, even though it's laggy. And I really appreciate all of you being here. So thank you for joining me. And you can put your drawing hand emoji in the chat now. And I will see you